what did we see today?
Well, we saw Spider-Man Far From Home.
All right. Did you guys like it?
Yes, I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
I liked it. Okay, so now this is the part where we go to spoilers. 3 seconds in the review.
Yeah, this is a spoiler review. So if you don't want it spoiled, go watch the movie and then come back and watch this review.
Hot take, I literally just care about the post-credit scenes right now.
That's fine.
The movie was great, actually. I quite enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed myself for most of it.
Yeah.
What do we feel like we have more of, positives or negatives?
We should probably do negatives first, because we always do negatives first when we like a movie.
Fair enough.
And we, general consensus, liked it.
Yeah. Alright, I guess I'm gonna fire in with a pretty hot take.
Okay.
Mysterio fucking sucked.
Wow, disagree strongly. He's one of the best parts of the movie.
His character's so flat and uninteresting, and I found his motivation to be completely fucking convoluted.
His motivation is really cliche, actually.
It really sucks.
The only thing that I didn't like was his motivation of, Mr. Stark fired me. I want to be Iron Man. That's bitchy.
Yeah. He's Syndrome.
Yeah.
He's Syndrome from The Incredibles.
Yeah,
little
and
bit.
Syndrome is a great villain.
Yeah, but
So I don't know
Syndrome doesn't use CGI to fake it.
You know who does? Mysterio.
That was ridiculous.
So was all the Stark tech. All the holograms and all the MCU
But
movies
there's a
are...
difference between, like, Stark's tech still actually did stuff. This was just literal CGI, like, literally completely fake.
Yeah, like a
Yep,
hologram
have you seen
thing.
Iron Man 2, Mud?
What do you... What?
That sequence where he builds an element because of a hologram that takes up an entire room and he shrinks it down to...
He didn't fake an entire city getting leveled.
Yeah,
There's a
it's been
difference.
10 years of
The
MCU.
drones were...
It's been 10 years of MCU
cloaks
since
and
then.
destroying the
Technology's
things,
advanced.
but-
I just feel like the whole extra thing with the elementals was just pointless if it's just, oh, this rogue guy with all these drones.
Then-
like, it's an over-the-top story just to have it be Mysterio when it doesn't need to be Mysterio
Well,
at all.
Mysterio uses hologram tech in some of the comic stuff and fake magic, basically, in order to get...
I would argue that everything that's bullshit techie about this movie, you need to apply equally to every Iron Man suit after the first Iron Man.
I strongly disagree.
Why?
Because he's just faking everything.
Yeah, with holograms.
Well, it's
Yeah, and
fake,
drones.
but
There's
also
no-
real.
Iron Man never fakes what he does.
You can't put a tank missile in your arm and not explode and hit a wall.
But it's still a real tank missile.
That blows up if you hit a wall.
But
and he
the
didn't.
drones-
He fought Thor hand to hand. Like, this is
So-
a world where that technology apparently is way more advanced than ours.
When he was faking the things, the only reason there was real destruction was the drones were cloaked. And
I get that.
yeah.
My point is, I feel like either have it be real or have it just be the drones. I don't see what this elemental thing adds to it. This extra story that ends up just being fake about the multiverse.
I think it was so he could gain the trust of everyone around him, which is what the movie explained it
Yeah, manipulate
as.
the public.
I
Manipulate
didn't
the
feel
public.
like he was trying to manipulate the public.
He was trying to
until, like,
manipulate Nick,
He
Tony,
was trying to
and
manipulate
Maria.
Nick.
Yeah.
I never got the sense that he was trying to manipulate the public until like the last 20 minutes, and then I went, "Oh, he's Syndrome."
Yeah, he was that. We're gonna talk about the last 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't like the whole toast. The Mr. Stark fired me.
That whole
scene
scene pissed
wasn't
me
very
off. Whole scene where
Like,
he's
I feel like Gyllenhaal-
He fired me because I was unstable, and I was like, "Oh, so you're a flat villain?
good.
I'm crazy. I'm
think-
gonna kill a kid."
I think Gyllenhaal did a good job with what he had. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
really
of course.
really
I'm
talented.
not knocking Gyllenhaal's performance.
But during
I'm
that
knocking the
scene, I
concept
think
of
he
the
went
character.
a little bit way over the top. Like,
He was.
and yeah, it's an over the top villain, blah blah blah. But like,
It's more than just that.
yeah,
Faking all of that takes a lot of fucking work. And I just felt like the movie was underestimating how much work it takes to fake something like that.
It takes, on a smaller scale, just as much work to fake Tony Stark's fake memory in that movie. And it's been like 5 or 10 years since that point. So,
That's
yes.
still based on his actual memories in a closed environment.
A regular guy...
This is a fight in the middle of a street where anything could happen. Some civilian could get caught in the middle, and then suddenly the drones fly over it, and suddenly he's inside the hologram.
no
and
one
he
would
knows
believe
the
him.
truth. Why wouldn't anyone believe him?
No one would believe him.
What if he takes out his phone and records it?
He's probably going to blow up. Odds are he's going to blow up.
Why would he blow up? Nothing's
Because
real.
everything's blowing up. No, it is real. The drones firing at the things blowing things up are very much real.
yes.
Things exploding around them are real, yes.
Still, like,
Cities get destroyed.
the
Like the fire, like the flamethrower drone was the fire elemental thing.
Yes.
I still
Yeah.
don't buy the idea that this can just be faked on such a massive scale. There are too many variables when you bring this stuff out into the public.
There are a lot of variables, but coincidentally, because it's a movie, none of them happened.
No.
Yeah.
You need to apply the same criticism to a 50-year-old man getting in a nanotech suit and punching Thanos in the face and not dying immediately.
I don't see how, because he didn't fake punching him. That wasn't
The
a hologram.
drones blew up real buildings. I don't know what you understand about that.
My point is, somebody ends up inside the holograms. They know it's fake.
Yeah, and then they die because everything's blowing up around them.
around them. But if they're inside the drones,
No-
nothing's blowing
nothing
All
up.
of those
inside the
things
drones are
summoned,
blowing up, yeah.
all,
Inside the
of, all,
drones.
of, all of the elementals summoned in spots in which there were no people in the like a 50-foot vicinity.
You can't control that every time.
No, but you can pick where you spawn them.
But you can't control every variable when you're in a densely populated
Then set
city.
one drone to kill everyone inside the thing. I mean, I don't see how that's complicated at all.
It's overcomplicated.
He's
is
tying
what
up
it
every
is.
loose end. It's very overcomplicated, but that's canonically a logical explanation. I don't know.
I don't find that logical at all. I found it to be over the top, and I found it to be unbelievable.
You can call it over the top, but it makes sense within the context of the movie.
I don't think it does.
Why doesn't it? If
Because
someone is,
you
if,
can't fake all of that forever. I don't understand what his long-term plan is. He needs like 7 or 8 people to run all of this. Plus, he's in a CGI suit, but he's also going to change into his real suit. Like, there's just a lot of running around that he has to do to fake being a hero for no reason.
this is a world where that tech exists. It has for a long time.
So I didn't like the scene where he tried to kill his friend on the bus.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
It was,
that was another the fucking guy that was trying to get with.
Peter
Asian
never tried
red.
to kill him. He
No, he
unintentionally
when he
tried to-
accidentally almost tried to kill
The
him.
whole comedy of errors scene.
Yes.
Could have
Yeah,
been
that
cut.
was, I didn't like that very
Entirely.
much.
Yeah, the movie was a comedy of errors in a way.
It's a fine. It's like not a bad scene. I just didn't think because I saw it activate instant kills way better. That's the same
It's the
comedic
same
effect
joke.
suit scene. So
Yeah.
I would have liked to see something else there, but oh, the title card. Oh my fucking god.
Betty Brant and Ned's subplot sucked.
Kinda.
There was no point to it.
It was just
was to give-
Ned wants to be a bachelor. Now he has a girlfriend. Now they're broken up.
Just give him a girlfriend the entire time or don't.
Felt very much like the tone and style of Ant-Man bleeding through to this movie.
A little bit.
Yep.
Except the comedy in this movie is better, just in general.
Also, another I guess hot take. I feel like Peter didn't spend enough time with MJ.
I mean that is due to the plot of the movie. They addressed that in the movie of I want to spend time with MJ. Nick Fury's ruining my whole fucking vacation. Yeah,
But
I think that's
they
like the point.
realistically only have like one scene together.
One full scene, yeah.
They have the scene on the bridge
Yep.
where there's a really good moment where he's like, "Do you only care about me because you think I'm Spider-Man?" And she goes, "Yeah." Like that's
That hurt, yeah.
That's a great. I hurt from that. I was like, "Damn."
There are some really
wanted
good
more
character
like
moments
that.
we're gonna talk about. during
I
that.
feel like there just wasn't enough build up to that.
I feel like the build up was definitely there. There was like that little tension.
I
and
feel
they,
like it was an hour of Peter just kind of staring at MJ while she was standing there like doing something vaguely gothic, and then him going, "I really like MJ," and I'm like, "Talk to her. Give me one scene of them awkwardly trying to flirt." Because right now, Mr. Non-blipped over here is running circles around you, Chief.
I think the biggest issue I have with the movie is some of the writing is really great, and some of the writings I really like MJ. You know what? That's like the prime example of telling me that and not showing me that at all. There's a lot of tell in this movie that does not need to be there, and they're better than this
Yeah.
by a long shot.
While watching the movie, I set myself up for disappointment pretty big.
Yeah, you did.
Star Wars over
Here's
here.
okay, so going into this movie, the trailer opened with introducing the concept of the multiverse to this world. All right, not in any other movie, only in this Spider-Man movie is the multiverse actually introduced as a concept, according to the trailer.
Yep.
So I'm gearing up to like, okay, wouldn't it be funny if? And then I had the Spider-Verse, but with the Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland ideas in my head. But that's, you know what? That's just a fleeting thought. Maybe that would be cool if, but that's just, it's fine. It's whatever. It's whatever. And they also released Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which came out, last year and won Best Animated. And I'm like, okay, well, that's more credence to the idea. But you know what? It's crazy. We haven't heard anything in the news about this. We haven't heard any rumors. No Andrew Garfield, no Tom Holland. They're all, the other one. They're all just,
Tobey Maguire.
yeah, they're all just living
Yeah,
their
no Tom
lives.
Holland in this
No
movie.
one's signed up. No one's rumored. No one's anything else. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's not on fire. It's fine. So, closer and closer we get to this movie, there's an interview with Tom Holland that drops that someone asks him directly, since Multiverse is a part of this, wouldn't it be cool if the other versions of Spider-Man showed up in a post-credit scene and or were in the sequel? Tom Holland froze. His eyes went bug-eye wide. He freezes for like 3 seconds, says nothing, and says, "So the movie's set in Europe, and this time around we're going to go on this vacation." So he's definitely, like, tiptoeing around something really big. And I'm thinking, oh my god, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And then, a week prior to the movie, everything online is, the post-credit scenes are nutty. This is ridiculous. You gotta see the post-credit scenes. They're so good. And I'm like, oh no. And then I got way up on the hype train that something would happen along
Jake,
those lines.
respectfully,
Mm-hmm.
you set yourself
I
up for
did.
Oh,
disappointment.
100%.
I
The
did.
reason Tom froze is because there is no multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Holland is terrible with spoilers.
Yep. Tom Holland is terrible with spoilers. I know that, but I did not know why he was terrible, or
That's 'cause
rather,
we hadn't seen the movie. At
yeah,
that point,
exactly.
yeah.
So, but all of that evidence, everything building up to that point,
Well, much like with Arthur Lee Allen,
Mhm.
it was all circumstantial.
all very circumstantial evidence.
I'm sorry, Jake. I'd
So-
say that's rough, buddy, but I have no empathy for you.
Thank you so much.
You
Thank you
set
so much.
yourself up for failure on
I
that
Yes,
one.
who do you guys
appreciate
think Snoke is?
Speaking of the post-credit scenes,
I'm
the
guessing
second one, because we're on negatives.
Okay.
I don't really get it.
Oh, just Nick Fury's up in a space station, I guess.
Oh, hot take! I didn't like either post-credit scene.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You're wrong
really.
about the first one, but the second one,
All right. Well,
the second one it's just fine. Nick Fury's up at the space in a space station with the Skrulls working some stuff out, probably communicating or whatever.
it's just a hot one-take joke. Doesn't really add anything. But the first one, all right. Well, it did the same thing that Black Panther did. First of all, where it's just the rest of the movie, and they cut it off at that point and put credits in between, so it looks like a post-credit scene. But in any case, the real problem is that something inherent to Spider-Man as a character, up until the Civil War arc, which they retconned in the comics anyway, is him having his identity a secret. It's the whole ethos of him being a
That
character.
was even kind of a big deal in both this movie and Homecoming.
Yep.
Exactly. Every Spider-Man movie, almost every Spider-Man media, his identity being a secret. It's not just a trait of him. It's not just like a throwaway feature that you can change, like the blue can turn to black for the new Far From Home suit. That's fine. It's
Yeah.
not like an aesthetic choice. It's the core. It's what makes him like so interesting comparatively to, say, an Iron Man, where like he's balancing his high school life and being Spider-Man. So if everyone knows he's Spider-Man, that flies in the face of that. There's no conflict of, oh, I need to get to my classes on time. Oh, I have to make excuses. There's none of that. Because everyone knows he's
If
Spider-Man.
I can stack on that,
Go right ahead.
that's not the kind of thing you put at the end of the movie.
That's true.
That is the
Yeah.
concept
That's huge.
of a movie.
It's huge right there.
And
That's probably the
building
concept
on
of the
this
next
whole,
movie. Yeah.
building on this whole drones are magic. When the fuck did Beck record that?
That's true.
Doctored footage, probably.
But like, he still had to record his lines at some point.
He has a lot of contingencies. He seems like a pretty reasonable guy to
That's
do that.
true.
I'm so unstable.
Yeah, he's like a Tony Stark, but crazy and played up for the camera.
Yeah.
In any case, that's the kind of post-credit scene that I feel like the writers kind of ran out of tricks, and they were like, oh, let's just throw this shit in there. Hopefully
Why
it'll
not?
work.
Yeah, no, I kind of get where you're coming from with that. I have a mixed feeling towards that post-credit scene.
I
So,
liked it. I mean,
That's fine. Ian, you
I
can
think
like
it's.
it.
I feel like no one's gonna believe that in the whole.
Everyone
There are
will.
gonna be some people that are like, okay, maybe, but there's also gonna
Do
be
you,
some
do you
people
remember
like,
that?
it's a kid.
Do you remember the superhero trope of if someone records a video of someone doing something super and
It's
uploads it,
automatically true.
everyone believes it immediately, even though it's very much visual effects and could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no one doubts anything that's super at all in fake movies like Amazing Spider-Man or Shazam or Glass. Everything that happens when you upload it, oh, everyone believes it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to happen. So now JJ's going to be like, this is happening and this is the real way.
Okay, but JJ good.
JJ was great.
I'm glad he came back. Really glad he came back.
I love the way they did him.
They changed his pencil Hitler mustache into a regular mustache. I noticed that.
I love
I'm
Alec
upset.
Jones.
Pretty funny.
I'm upset.
I love Alex Jones Jameson, played by
Yep.
J.K. Simmons
Hell
again.
yeah.
There, the scenes where Mysterio is doing the tricky with Spider-Man and they like the hallucination scenes. That might be the best collection of scenes I've seen all year. They're so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, I really like the Mysterio. This is why I really like Mysterio as a character. I thought he was really done justice. Because when you first see him in the first like 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, they're making a lot of liberties with who he is as a character. But you know what? It's fine. It's, you know, they have to make changes because being a theater effects artist in the comics doesn't really work on a large scale.
Mhm.
And they kind of did do Mysterio a lot of justice by subverting those expectations and making him a large-scale con artist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I really like how they kind of took the idea of Mysterio as a character in every other medium and adapted him in a way we didn't expect in this movie.
Yeah, no,
And they kept the bubble helmet, which is awesome.
yeah, the bubble helmet was good.
Bubble helmet worked.
I did think that some of the coolest shit in the whole world was just like the dark around, and then especially the spider sense scene at the end was, or the Peter Tingle scene at the end was just like,
That was a really good sequence.
oh my god, because it's kind of like Daredevil vision, but
Yeah.
it was the spider sense, and you got the blue, and then it was like flickering in and out.
No,
of,
I really like that.
oh,
That was so good.
those collections of like trippy trick scenes and then the spider sense scenes are some of the most beautiful things I've seen all year.
Hell yeah,
They
big
were
fan.
pretty good.
Big fan of
that right there is what I want to keep seeing in my movies.
Mhm.
And no, I can't see anymore because I like the in the game when they do the whole he gets stung and then there's the whole like world of the green
Yeah.
and the tentacles. That's like my favorite part of the whole game. And it's at the end. There's a lot of really good comedic things in the movie. I'd say most of the jokes landed. There's a good portion of them that landed.
I'd say about half landed.
I'd say a little more than half to give it
Say
some
half.
generosity.
JB
some,
Smoove was amazing.
JB Smoove.
JB Smooth
was in
was
it.
good, but and I'm just trying to find the best way to say this. The awkward teenage thing that was going on with every single awkward teenage character is probably the best like high school I've seen ever in any movie. Like the awkwardness of just like all of the characters except when they're around the people they're comfortable with.
I
It's
didn't really
very
see a lot.
genuine.
I didn't see a lot of awkwardness in this movie.
I didn't see a lot of characters aside from the main 3 or 4 high schoolers. In
It
this
was the
movie.
main 5. It was Peter, MJ,
Ned,
Tony
his girl,
Ravioli's
yeah.
character,
Tony Ravioli, Flash.
Ned, and now Betty.
Yeah.
And Betty and Ned, all they did was go, no, I love you more. No, I love
Exactly.
you
No,
more.
you're
And then they got
big
complained and they're
man.
broken up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the awkwardness between like MJ and Peter, and I
Again, I
think
don't
that's
feel like they had enough scenes together to really get that awkward tension up. Like the
I
scene
like
on the
that.
bridge. The scene on the bridge.
fantastic.
Great. And I
Yeah.
get what you're talking about right there.
Yeah.
I just still don't feel like there was a lot of it for me to say it was a positive.
So if I could compare and contrast this to the other Spider-Man movies, actually both versions, the Spider-Man trilogy, you see Peter and MJ's relationship really naturally develop because those movies are done like actual movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if they're not based on anything. Like they're done like actual like. There's enough time there where you can fully understand all of their motivations and you see.
Are
them
you talking about the
interact.
first trilogy?
The first trilogy
Okay.
of Spider-Man movies? You
Because
get to see
the
them-
second one's not based on actual movie, so I figured you were talking
exactly,
about it. But
like my point is like
Yeah.
they're all kind of done as like a cinematic thing. So
Yeah,
you
nope,
see them
100%.
develop with each other a lot, and you see that established. It's like the main kind of focus of
Yeah,
both movies.
absolutely.
And in the amazing duology, not trilogy, they have more chemistry than Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst ever did, but they don't have. As in the first movie, they don't have a lot of scenes together. In the second one, they have those scenes, and it's really well done.
it's
but
the
then
only
they-
redeeming parts of that movie.
Yeah, and then they just kill her. Like you could have totally done way more with this relationship. And
Yep.
they just got rid of her. So in this one, they have almost as much chemistry as like Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if you add all of their scenes from these 2 movies of Homecoming and Far From Home together, you get like an actual like real thing. But like,
Well, I'd like to point out in Homecoming, he was going after a girl named Liz.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like
He had no real romantic intentions with MJ.
a
But
good
they
point.
had good chemistry.
They had good chemistry, yeah, but maybe it would have been better in this movie to have Peter realize that he liked MJ over the course of the movie, rather than just have him be like, I really like MJ, man. Especially because when you take into account, in between Homecoming and Far From Home, we saw Endgame and we saw Infinity War. Peter went through some shit.
Yep,
He died.
literally disappeared for
Like,
5
he's
years.
come back from the dead. I'd really like to see more of a deep dive into his psychology of how he's dealing with it personally, more than just the world needs the next Iron Man.
And that's what I was afraid of after Endgame, because I knew that none of the Marvel movies would really like address they're calling the blip. They're not going to address the
Yeah.
blip in any kind of substantial, meaningful way. Like you could make an entire like spin-off television series about the snap and everything that happened in between.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they'll never get into it. They'll just reference it in the
I-
opening little sequence of the
I
news story.
liked how they did it in this movie.
They addressed it, and
They addressed
I
it.
like the band members appearing and
In the middle of a basketball game, that was pretty funny.
Yep.
That was really funny. Yeah.
But like you said, there could be a lot more to this. But I also understand that this isn't the story they're telling right now.
Of course,
Yep.
they're going
Not
to use
right
it for comedic effect and background sometimes.
Yeah, hey, remember that time half the population disappeared?
That's funny.
Is it though?
No.
No, they're playing it up for being funny in the movie.
Well, they
Yeah.
weren't playing it up for being funny, but they used it in a comedic way, which I think is creative. I think tragedy being funny is.
Those are the same.
Funny.
They weren't just this is just comedic. It was this is a sad moment, but then they also have it for the comedic thing because the whole tribute at the beginning.
Right, but they've only brought that up for like a
The
comedic
tribute
effect.
at the very beginning was great.
Yeah.
It was fucking. It was very,
was very
high
funny,
school.
Yes.
High school production.
Yes, but the only
underfunded high school.
I would
production
argue
class.
the only reason it was funny is because it was the high school underfunded thing. That was
Yeah.
supposed to be touching,
It
but
was
it wasn't.
Tony, Cap, Black Widow, and Vision.
Yep. A very low res image of Vision.
That was the best part.
Yeah, it was like a 3x3 PNG of Vision. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
But
Um.
yeah. Because that wasn't like, to us it's funny, but in the context of the universe, that's not supposed to be funny.
Yeah, I get that.
Not as good as Endgame.
Out of 10, I suppose.
Not as good as Endgame.
Yeah.
No,
I
definitely
think
not.
it's slightly lower. Yeah.
I think it's a bit lower. It's
That's
definitely not as
understandable.
good as Homecoming.
No, Homecoming is tied for the best Spider-Man movie.
I disagree. I think it's on par with Homecoming as both being decent.
I think Homecoming's tied for the best Spider-Man movie. I think it's just as good as Spider-Man 2, but for a different reason.
I'm inclined to agree with Ian on this one. So, anyways, out of 10,
I'd say like an 8. I mean, it's not bad.
Oh, I'm not thinking of closer to a 7, I think.
I'm also feeling a 7.
Because I'm really thinking about those post-credit scenes really just kind of hampering. And not just because it wasn't what I wanted, it was because
They weren't good.
The identity
well, the
reveal
second one's, yeah.
The second one's not good, and the first one's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind the identity reveal, but only if they do something clever with it next time.
Yeah, they should.
I
That's why it's a 7.
really don't. You know what? I really don't appreciate how they're insisting this is the end of Phase 3.
Well, it's like an epilogue. You know what I mean?
I guess it's
Yeah.
a shitty epilogue.
In the context
I'd
of
rather
epilogue,
this be an okay season opener than a disappointing season finale.
fair. Well, Ant-Man was a shitty epilogue to Phase 2 by that logic.
Yeah,
So
you're not wrong.
it's the same situation.
I think Ant-Man should have been the opener to Phase 3.
It would have been a shitty opener to Phase 3.
I'd rather it be a shitty opener than a shitty closer. Because a shitty closer, when you're left with a bad closer, that's you going, that's it. But when you have a bad opener, you're like, okay,
It will
you
get
recovered.
better, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like episode 1 of The Flash
It's
to
almost
Jake.
like they're saying that the end movie is the end of the giant phase only because they need to release a certain number of movies a year.
It's definitely, they don't want to cut a phase in the middle of a year.
Yeah, they don't want to stop making it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they'd be like,
Oh, like 3 more movies are coming out next year. Fuck
Yeah,
off,
but
Marvel.
this is months after, literally
Yeah.
like 2 months after Endgame.
Yeah.
They're not going to not do that and not make probably $1 billion.
Well, my point is, I think they do that so that we don't have, in the middle of 2015, Phase 3 starts. Because
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Ultron came out in the same year.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I do not think that they're, for exactly what you just said right there, I don't think they're going to start with Phase 4 now with a new movie. You know? I think they'll just be like, oh, this is the end of Phase 3 also.
Yeah,
Like, just throw
that's
in
what it
there.
was. But I don't like the fact that they're going, oh, by the way, this is the end of Phase 3. Because it's like, really? Like, I feel like the one called... The one where 50% of the title is Endgame
Yeah.
feels like it's
Concluding.
the end.
It also has the Avengers
It
in
also
it.
concludes the story of, the guy who had the first movie.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely a conclusion.
No, it's not. Spider-Man's the conclusion because it talks about Tony Stark.
That's true. They talked about him in the background and he fought a different villain.
Via pictorial image.
Yep.
Tony Stark's dead skeleton man.
Also, how-
Holy shit, that was a
That
good
was a
scene
very great
when
scene.
Quentin Beck said maybe if you were better, he'd still be alive. And then
Yes.
it was fucking his tombstone. I was like,
That's what I'm talking about. That illusion scene.
I'm not knocking
Oh,
the
yeah.
illusion scene. I thought it was really good.
That's the only-
I agree with you. I think it was a well done
That's the only reason the movie's not a 7 is because those scenes
You know
are
what I
so
didn't
fucking
like?
good.
The freeze frame black and white punch
Zoom in. Yep.
Hey, it's this guy. This background character from Iron Man. He's back. Remember his name? Nope, we don't either.
What
That's
guy?
Why we're, the guy who
Oh,
was in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Tony Stark had to build this.
Yep.
Okay, on the one side, if that's the same actor, good job.
Yep.
On the other hand, did we really need the pause freeze frame punch in? Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
they
might
did
want
it
to know
for
how I
two
got
of
in this
them.
wacky
They
situation.
only did it for 2 of them.
That's because the other ones weren't important.
Well, have we seen Janice from Accounting anywhere in there?
I doubt we actually saw Jake Gyllenhaal in Civil War. They probably superimposed him in there.
Yeah, they would not have hired him for 2016 to have him in a movie literally like 3 years later.
No, I agree.
No, this isn't Rocky. They're not that continuous.
It was so funny too because they had the scene from Civil War shot from one angle which is just footage from the movie basically, and then it reverse shot, and then you see him just in this black silhouette
Like,
composited
clearly
in.
the easiest way to pop him into the
Yup,
scene.
the light wasn't like the same as Tony Stark's. Like he was definitely just thrown in there. It was wicked funny.
It was.
It's very goofy, yeah.
So it was pretty funny.
I wanted this movie to be great.
I wanted this
and
movie to be fantastic, and it wasn't.
It was good, but it
was
wasn't.
decent.
It was fine.
I'm not saying it's a bad.
It's
movie.
on the top end of good, where it's like, yeah, I could probably watch this movie again.
I'd put it middle of the road, where it's like, can we watch a different Spider-Man movie?
I guess I'll just never be fulfilled until they make my stupid movie, my fan movie.
Welcome to the life of half of the people who watched episode 8, Jake.
That's me. I'm in there, Chief. I'm in there.
You didn't confirm my
I
theory.
either
Zero.
gotta let go of my dream or wait until they probably do. I don't know.
So, Ian, how long until you have to eat your own ass?
What do you mean?
Remember the bet? $1 billion.
Oh, this movie's gonna make at least 1.2.
All right, guys. Smell you in the next one. We got what's coming next from Marvel?
Nothing.
Who cares?
Oh, we don't know yet. Probably Black Widow though. Understandable.
Ugh. Great, a Black Widow prequel movie. I'm so
We get
fucking
it. Ian. You
excited.
hate women.